everybody, welcome. We are here today at Disney's Hollywood Studios. We're going to be checking out all the new construction that's happening for the brand new animation Courtyard, and we're going to take a look at the progress happening on the Monsters Inc. land. We're also going to get a sneak peek at some of the layout and the changes that's coming to a lot of the new projects that are coming around Disney World. So come along with us. This promises to be an awesome day. Well, there is a lot of stuff happening here at Disney's Hollywood Studios. So many changes going on that this video is going to be jam-packed, and they have brand new models and things that are happening for all the projects going on in Walt Disney World. So this is the place to be if you want to get some updates on some of these awesome new things that are going to be coming. All right, this is one of the big things that I wanted to see. I wanted to check out the Walt Disney Presents. There's a lot of cool new stuff happening in here. It's got a lot of things that are going to be coming to Walt Disney World and getting a sneak peek at some of the layouts, some of the attractions, and I really can't wait to see this. This is going to be really cool. One of the great things about Walt Disney Presents, this area, they usually have a lot of cool models and new things that are coming to the parks. They have them back in this space. Oh, here we go. Walt Disney Imagineering Presents. This is great. Oh, this is so cool. Let's take a look at this. Let's start over here on the right. We've got the new Cars Land coming. Let's talk first about the new Cars area, Piston Peak. What I really find interesting right on the surface is that it's called Magic Kingdom Frontierland is the place that it is located. It specifically says Magic Kingdom Frontierland at the top of that little thing, and then it says Cars. Then there's a little placard that says Frontierland Piston Peak. And so we're definitely keeping Frontierland, the theming of Frontierland. And we knew that they were going to be calling it Piston Peak, but it does blend perfectly in with Frontierland. So the language of Frontierland, Magic Kingdom is staying, and then they're also adding Piston Peak as sort of a location within Frontierland. I also find it interesting that we have Lightning McQueen and we have Mater sitting there in their original style. Nothing's changed, no off-road tires or anything like that. So it looks like we might actually get to see both of those characters as part of the new Piston Peak area, even though the attraction itself will have totally different styles of cars. And you can see that from some of the concept art that's sitting there. We've got sort of like an off-road looking sportier type vehicle. Then we have more of a four-wheeling type vehicle with a powdered sort of black grille on the front of it. With different vehicle styles, lots of different cool ones. But still rocking the same concept art that we've seen, a couple of the different variations of the car on the track, and then we have the sort of fun map style concept art for Piston Peak. Let's talk about Tropical Americas. This model here is absolutely beautiful, mind-blowing. It looks fantastic. We've seen a model like this before. This was part of the D23 Expo announcement, but this is the first chance that people who weren't at D23 are getting to see the model up close and personal. And it's formally referred to as Tropical Americas. We have the concept art up on the wall, coming to Animal Kingdom. But there's a few things about the model that I want to talk about that are really interesting to me. So the first thing that catches my eyes is that it looks like there's a couple of different entrances into this location. There's going to be the standard location right there in the front with the sort of archway there, which would have been the normal entrance into Dino Land, kind of where the Boneyard was. But then there's a second entrance over there on the left near the Nemo show, which would be similar entrance to what would have been there before when it was Dino Land. So we still have those two main entrances. But one thing that I thought was really interesting was that all the way in the back, beyond the Encanto ride, it looks like there's some sort of other pathway or other entrance and exit. And I don't really know what that is. I don't know if that's the exit from the ride and then people can just sort of walk from there, if it's just interpretation, if it's going to be a cast member only area. But it looks like there is sort of a walkway back there where people were able to walk back there. So I don't know if that's going to be another entrance and exit somehow that they're going to add, and maybe it's going to wrap around into another area of the park. I don't know, but I thought that was really interesting because I haven't seen that anywhere else, and I didn't really notice that on the concept art, but it's here in this model. Now I also notice when you enter from the main archway and you go into the center, you can see this nice little fountain area, this nice little area that you can kind of hang out with. I like that. That's a good addition. You have the carousel right there on the left, which is going to have the sort of intricately carved animals. You know, Kevin is going to be part of that. That looks good. That's a replacement for Triceratops Spin. But then if you go over to the right, you can see Dino Bites, which is still going to be there. So they're not changing the building. It's going to be transformed into something else, but the little booth is actually staying there. And then Restaurantosaurus is still there as well, which we're getting a really good look at. It looks like they're adding some like Tropical America, South American, whatever, Spanish type archways in the front of it to make it fit better, and they're going to change some of the theming, but the restaurant itself looks about the same as it does now. Now, of course, the Indiana Jones replacement for Dinosaur looks pretty good. It looks about the same. Again, they're adding like a sort of like pyramid type Mayan, some sort of Mayan structure, temple in front of it. Where the dinosaur stuff would have been. You can see the extended queue that goes around to the right, which is the same extended queue that's part of Dinosaur. And then you can see the trick that they're using again. They have the little trees and bushes on top of the building to make it feel like it is smaller, and there's like a big rainforest kind of behind it, and you don't see the big giant show building. Pretty much how they've done it for Dinosaur. So that looks pretty cool. It looks like they are going to keep the pathway that goes from Dinosaur into the little shops there over on the left. And those shops are going to be staying. We can see those. And then, of course, the Encanto ride looks amazing. I mean, in the concept art, it looks great, but in the model, it looks really cool. It looks structured well. You can see the sort of like multi-tiered show building right behind it and how they're kind of hiding that from your view. So you're going to be able to see like bushes and mountains and things, but you won't see the show building, which I think is pretty clever. I also noticed in this model, you can clearly see like the extended queue, the outdoor queue section for the Encanto experience, which I think is great. I was curious as to how much of the queue was going to be outside of the casita and how much of it's going to be inside. It looks like a pretty good amount of it's going to be outside. One thing I don't see in the model is any sort of like playground, kids playground area replacement for the Boneyard. We keep thinking that maybe in the Cretaceous Trail there, where the Daisy sort of meet and greet is, maybe there's going to be some sort of like playground area in there. Right now it's covered up with a bunch of trees. You can see like sidewalks and pathways back there, but there's nothing else that you can kind of make out even in the model. So I don't know if it's going to be a playground area or if it's just going to be like a trail through the trees. Not 100% sure, but overall it looks really amazing. But now let's talk about Monstropolis. This looks awesome, and I'm gonna have to say it, I think we can confirm this new area is going to be called Monstropolis, not Monsters Inc. Land, not something else. I think it's going to be referred to as Monstropolis officially. Basically, it says Monstropolis at the top of this section, just like the Cars area. Now, Cars says Cars, we know that's Piston Peak, but then Tropical Americas says Tropical Americas. However, there are placards at the bottom, and on each of these placards, I feel like is where the official name actually lives. And so for Tropical Americas, there's a placard that says Tropical Americas. And for Cars Land, there is a placard that says Frontierland Piston Peak. And then for the Monsters Inc. Land, there's a placard that specifically says Monstropolis. And I'm very interested to see that we're still using the same concept art for Monstropolis that we've gotten. So we have the two different versions that show that it was in two different locations. And you can tell that they don't actually match up. So you can see the restaurant there. Harryhausen's in the one concept art is sort of in the front left portion of the park. This is the concept art where it was potentially going to be at the animation courtyard location. And the other piece of concept art, you can see Harryhausen's is located in sort of to the right of the big Monsters Inc. sort of structure there where the roller coaster is going to be. Which neither one of these actually lines up with the overhead shot, which is probably the most accurate concept art piece that we have, where Harryhausen's is located slightly to the left of the main roller coaster, which is the replacement for Mama Melrose. Now, we also have both of the characters, Sully and Mike Wazowski, which is great news. We knew Mike Wazowski was going to be coming back and reprising his voice, reprising his role. Billy Crystal was part of the announcement. We figured we'd get Sully as well, at least part of the attraction, maybe some sort of animatronic. So it's good to see them both there. Walking up here to the Animation Courtyard, Hollywood Studios, you can see the walls already up, and I can see that the Star Wars launch bay looks like the sign has been completely removed now, and they are already making progress, tearing stuff down. Wow, it looks really different in there already. Got a few images here on the wall to show us what's coming, and this is going to be pretty exciting. I'm excited about this change here to Animation Courtyard. Got the new hat there that's going to be, this is the old Star Wars launch bay. They're totally redoing that, which means that we're going to get to see a lot of cool animation stuff back in those buildings. Got this brand new like park area that they're building, which I think is great because right now it's a big giant slab of concrete in there, And I think adding that greenery in there and some benches and things and places to sit, that's going to be a big improvement. I mean, it all started with animation at Disney, so I'm glad that they're coming back to the roots and less of the sort of like three-dimensional, remakes and live-action remakes, and trying to go a little bit back to their 2D animation style, which is really what put them on the map. I've been saying for a long time that I thought they needed to do something with this area. When the Monsters Inc. land was first announced, we thought for sure it was going to be going here, because the concept art essentially showed it in this location. But then all of a sudden it was announced to be where the Muppets Courtyard is, and people were going crazy about it. But that made me think immediately, if they're putting it over there, that means they have to have something really cool in store for us over here. And I'm happy to say that I was right about that, because I am pretty excited about this. I think this is going to be a positive improvement. And another piece of concept art. We've seen this concept art before, but just seeing it in life size for me, right in front of me, and getting to see like all the things. You've got like a little goofy meet and greet going on back here, which I think is pretty cool. Again, that sort of park space in the middle. It's going to be good. I don't know really 100% what they're going to be doing with the buildings. They're definitely not replacing any of the structures. All the structures look like they are staying the same, and they're just going to be tweaking what is on the inside of them. So I'm pretty excited to hear more about it once we get more details. All right, we got to take a break. It's snack time, and I'm going to try something I've never had before. People tell me all the time, you got to try Jack Jack's Num Num cookie for $6.99. They always tell me it's the best chocolate chip cookie in all of Walt Disney World, and I've never tried it. Everyone I'm with has tried it. I've never tried it. So this is the day. This thing looks absolutely amazing. Let's go. Let's give it a rip. Man, that's good. I don't know why I've never tried this thing before. It is so good. I'm telling you. I don't know what I've been waiting for. I've been missing out on this my whole life. You know how when you get like a chocolate chip cookie that you've made fresh at home, and you get it like right out of the oven, and it's still like all melted chocolate, and the center of it is like ooey gooey, and like it's not quite done yet. It's done, but it's not quite like perfectly cooked yet. And the outside rim of that cookie is just a little bit crispy. That's this cookie 100%. And I just know that cookie's probably been sitting there for hours in that thing. I don't know how they do it, but however they do it right. And for once, a dessert at Disney has enough sugar in it. It is so good. It's like got this like brown sugar flavor to it. Melted chocolate, crispy outside, soft gooey inside. Man, it's good. Well, I wanted to come over here now and take a look at the new Monsters Inc. land, Monstropolis, coming to Hollywood Studios. Again, there's just so much going on at Hollywood Studios. I mean, almost the whole place feels like it's under construction. It's crazy to me. See if they've made any progress since the last time we were here. Still not seeing, okay, I'm seeing things that are missing, but I'm not seeing anything been added on the buildings just yet, but you can tell things have been removed. A lot of the Muppets theming and things has been ripped off. Gonzo's gone. Still looks like a giant gaping hole. It just looks so weird. I'm so used to seeing that giant building in the center that now when I look over there and it's like a big blue sky, it just looks so weird to me. Let's see, I can't really see anything happening right now. Just more emptiness. So that's all right though, at least things are happening. I know that a lot of work is happening in the parking lot, like they're trashing, and I'll try to throw up some imagery and stuff, but basically completely ripping out that parking lot, and it just shows you the scale. The amount of parking lot that they're ripping out is huge to make way for this Monsters Inc. roller coaster. So, all right, well, things are happening. Not a ton of stuff yet in here, but it's moving. Hey, look, there's Pluto. Hey, what's up, Pluto? I love Pluto. We're catching a glimpse of Darth Vader's new meet and greet location. He's out too. I see him. Darth Vader. Oh man, he's the coolest. This line's about as long as it is to see Mickey and Minnie. Go over this way. There he is. He's Oh, got a lot of characters out at Hollywood Studios today, and one of the very rarest characters, Jiminy Cricket. Check him out. You don't get to see him very often. Well, that's going to do it. There's so much happening in Hollywood Studios. I feel like the whole park is under construction. There's a lot of things going on, and I really love that Tropical Americas model that they got in there showing us what's going on. I can't wait for the Villains Land stuff to start showing up, get more details on that. But overall, it's been a great day. That chocolate chip cookie was so good. Be sure to leave some comments below. Tell me, what is it that you're the most looking forward to of all the projects happening at Disney World? I'd love to hear from you. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Until see you next time. The way is the easy way. Bye-bye, everybody.